Are you ready to learn how to train like a goddess competitor? Well, I've got a few of my favorite exercises here in this video. This one happens to be, first up, the barbell back squat. I've got a lot of weight on this bar, ladies. When you first start out, you start out much, much lighter. You work your way up to what you feel comfortable with. But basically, you want that bar on your back. You come down into a nice low squat, press your knees up, out, and then come up and squeeze your butt. Next up, another one of my favorites is the step up. I've got a barbell on my back. Stepping up, leading leg finishes all the reps before you move on to the next leg. You want to keep your body nice and upright. You want to press through that front foot, get it way out in front of you. Your goal is you want to try to get a step that requires you to really make an effort to step up. So my knee is a little bit higher than my hip joint, requiring my glutes and hamstrings to activate a little bit more than if it was a little bit lower. Like I said, I like to get all my reps done on one side, make sure I thoroughly burn out that leg, get it nice and warmed up, and then I go on to the other side. You also want to make sure you try to stay standing upright as much as possible. Keep your abs tight, core engaged, and focus on that step in front of you. Breathe. Next up, my mecca booty building favorite competitor exercise is the barbell hip thrust. I started this particular clip at the beginning so you can kind of see me get in a position. It's a little bit awkward and funky to get into, but it is imperative that you do not leave these out of your training if you are trying to build your glutes. This is how I turned my glutes from pancake ass to a complete peach and cake booty. And all of my girls will have these in their programming, especially if they are bikini competitors. So I get that barbell, I bring it up to my hips, I make sure I have a good pad across my hip bones to protect it, load up the barbell with some weight. Here is about 155. You do not have to start out this heavy, but you will want to increase your weight as you get stronger. You press through your heels and bring your hips all the way to the sky. I get about a second pause at the top, and then I bring it back down. Next is my favorite ab exercise. I get asked a lot, what is your favorite core and ab exercise? Women are always really trying to work their quote unquote muffin top, which I hate that word. But I would have to say that the barbell ab rollout is probably my favorite. Much better than the little wheel that you've seen on infomercials back in the day. This one allows you to get your hands out wider, a wider range of motion, and it keeps your core a little bit tighter than that little wheel. So you'll notice I kind of round my spine before I roll out. I pull back, and I try not to use my hip flexors. Use those abs. Really squeeze when you pull back with the bar. Lastly, one of my favorite ways to get cardio in is definitely jump rope. You do not have to slog away time and hours on the treadmill all the time. I like to mix it up for my clients, add in some HIIT training, high intensity intervals with some jump rope. And that about wraps up my top exercises. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed.